Om Purnam Udachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate Purnamada Purnamidam Purnam Purnam Udachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate.
Welcome everyone to Atomic Dreaming. My name is Swamini Valli. This is going to be a weekly program. It's been a weekly program for a couple of years now, but it's been over on Zoom. And now we're migrating over to the Pillai Center practice channel. I'm very happy to be hosting this program for you. What this program is a few years ago, Dr. Pillai asked for me to share two different techniques from the Tamil siddha tradition. These are techniques that we're calling atomic dreaming because they're both designed to help you connect with the atomic power that Dr. Pillai says everyone has in their own mind, but we're not necessarily taught in school how to consciously connect with that. So each week I go over the directions for both of the techniques and we practice them together as a group. So if this is your first time here, you're very welcome. And if you are someone that migrated over, I'm happy to have you here again. On Zoom, people would share some of their experiences with the techniques, either by posting in the chat or by unmuting themselves and talking. On YouTube, we won't have the ability for you to unmute yourself, but you will still be welcome to share some of your experience in the chat. Just be aware that the YouTube chat limits you to 20 characters at a time. So just be aware that that's going to happen. So what I like to do with each week is go over the directions for both of the techniques and we do them together. But before we get started, I like to do a very simple clearing exercise to help all of us to be more receptive to the light and to clear out from our day or our evening. So just checking the chat to make sure the sound is on and nobody's having any issues. This is my first time broadcasting Atomic Dreaming over YouTube. So please bear with me if I have any challenges tonight with doing this. So for starting, again, I like to start with a very simple clearing exercise. So if you're in a place where it's safe for you to be closing your eyes, I'm going to invite you to close your eyes. And at the same time, I'm going to share the screen with a card so that you're not staring at my face if you have your not able to close your eyes. So just a moment while I put up the card again so that you have something to focus on if you're not able to close your eyes. Okay, you should be seeing the screen now. So please go ahead right now and close your eyes. Receive a beam of white light into your right eye. The white light comes into your right eye and it goes into all the millions of cells in your right eye, clearing, healing, renewing. The white light comes into your right eye and it goes all the way back into your right optic nerve. Now, receive a beam of white light into your left eye. The white light is healing, clearing, renewing. Receive the white light into your left eye, all the way back into your left optic nerve. Now, receive a beam of white light into your right ear. The white light is healing, clearing, renewing. Now, receive a beam of white light into your left ear. The white light is healing, clearing, renewing. Now, receive a beam of white light into your right nostril. The white light is healing, clearing, renewing. Now, receive a beam of white light into your left nostril. The white light is healing, clearing, renewing. Now, receive a beam of white light into your mouth. The white light, again, is healing, clearing, renewing. The white light enters the tip of your tongue, the middle of your tongue, the back of your tongue, and your tonsils area. Now, receive a beam of white light into your heart. The white light is healing, clearing, renewing. Now, receive a beam of white light coming down from the sky, entering into the top of your head. The white light comes into your head and it goes into all the cells in your brain, healing, clearing, renewing. The white light fills your entire head and expands, and it flows into your neck and your throat. It flows down into your shoulders, and from your shoulders it flows into your arms and comes all the way down your arms and into your hands. The white light flows into your entire torso, healing all of your inner organs, healing, clearing, renewing. The white light flows into your legs and comes down your thighs to your knees and into your shin and calves, down into your ankles, and all the way down into your feet, and out the bottoms of the soles of your feet, connecting you with the earth. The white light is flowing through all the pores in your skin, and now all of us are in a river of white light, ready to begin our program. As I mentioned at the beginning, there are two techniques of atomic dreaming that Dr. Pillai has given us. One is more focused on the material dimension, and the other is more focused on the spiritual plane. We start with the one more focused on the material plane. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to share the directions from Dr. Pillai for this first technique. These are his words now. Tapping into your total consciousness. We use only the mind-body consciousness, where the body and mind together give you a sense of reality. You never consciously attempt to separate the body from the mind. There are meditations that the siddhas do to separate their body and the mind. I'll give you an example. You are in San Diego in your house. You think about that you are in, say, India, staying in a hotel, and for a few days you are in the hotel. What is really happening when you do this exercise? Yes, in San Diego, your body and mind are together, and that is where, for all practical purposes, you are. But you are thinking that you are in India, in a hotel room, so the mind alone is there in the hotel. You visualize your hotel room, the restaurant that you go to. You are going to a Chinese restaurant, eating Chinese food. And then you familiarize yourself with the area. You are coming to the lobby and talking to some Indians, doing business with them or whatever. But actually, what you are doing is just imaginary, an unreal exercise, an exercise in unreality by worldly standards. If you live this life on a daily basis, that will help you to separate your mind from the body. Then you can go to the soul. But this first exercise is important, and it will be so liberating for the mind. You can think about all kinds of goodies. You have a Rolls Royce, driving a Rolls Royce. You have a mansion. All these things you can do. And if you remain in that consciousness for a long time, although it is faking, that will do a lot of good because your unconscious will pick up those constant hammerings. And psychologically, it is such an ego-satisfying consciousness, which is good. So those are the words to us from Dr. Pillai about the first technique of atomic dreaming. And in these directions, he's using the word goody, which is a rather playful word in the English language. It's suggesting something that makes you feel happy. We get excited if we hear we're getting a goodie. So right now, allow yourself to think about what is the goodie you would like to practice with when we do the exercise together right now. Your goodie could be anything that you might like to have, or you might like to do, or you might like to be, or some combination of those things. And as long as it's something that isn't going to hurt you, and it isn't going to hurt another person, the sky's the limit for what your goodie could be right now. So right now, allow yourself to begin to picture yourself in a scene enjoying your goodie. Allow yourself to see all the colors of you in the scene enjoying your goodie. The colors are vibrant, and you are in the scene happy and delighted with your goodie. And allow the scene to unfold and see where this adventure with your goodie takes you right now. You're seeing it vividly, and you're also enjoying it vividly, allowing yourself to feel satisfied with your goodie. And know that Dr. Pillai wants you to experience feeling happy with this goodie right now. He says this is a positive thing to have this positive, ego-satisfying experience right now. He's empowering these techniques for all of you. Allow yourself to go deeper in your enjoyment of your goodie. And allow yourself to bring all of your senses into enjoying your goodie. You're seeing it with all the colors vividly. And you're also hearing anything that's going on with you and your goodie right now, whether it's the sound of the waves at the ocean, or music that might be playing, or conversation with a friend. Whatever is there in your scene with your goodie, allow yourself to hear it and to enjoy that as well. And continue to have a very innocent pleasure with your goodie. Again, to feel fulfilled, satisfied, happy. And allow your adventure with your goodie to continue to unfold. And as you do this, continue to bring all of your senses into your experience with your goodie. If there is something in your goodie for you to eat or to drink, Allow yourself to experience that and enjoy any food or drink that's there. Allow yourself to taste anything, whether it's you're at a picnic or a party, or maybe it's just a cup of coffee you're having in a brand new car. Whatever is there in your adventure to eat or to drink, allow yourself to enjoy that right now too. You're seeing your goodie, you're tasting your goodie, you're hearing everything that's going on in the adventure with your goodie. And you're allowing your enjoyment to continue to grow. Your happiness with your goodie expands. Again, you feel complete with your goodie. You feel satisfied. You have joy. You have bliss with your goodie. You are so happy with it. And you allow more of your senses to be participating with your goodie. If there's anything with your goodie that's a pleasant aroma or a pleasant scent, allow your sense of smell to be activated. Maybe there is the smell of the salt air at the ocean, or maybe it's a perfume, or perhaps there's incense. Whatever is there for you to smell, enjoy that as well. You're seeing your goodie. You're hearing everything going on in your adventure. You're tasting, you're smelling, and also allow yourself to bring in your sense of touch, to have a tactile experience with your goodie. There's something there for you to feel. Maybe you're barefoot on the sand at the beach, or maybe you're feeling the sun on you as you're having the picnic, or perhaps you're feeling fabric of fresh new clothes and enjoying that. Whatever is there in your adventure that's of a tactile nature, allow yourself to enjoy that as well. And continue to allow your adventure with your goodie to expand and see where it takes you. And again, allow your sense of delight, your sense of pleasure, your sense of joy, your sense of happiness with your goodie to continue to expand. Allow that happiness to grow, to go deeper with that, with your goodie. You're so happy with it. You're so delighted with your goodie. You have a big smile on your face as you enjoy it. And again, know that Dr. Pillai wants you to experience these happy feelings. He wants you to have this sense of ecstasy and bliss right now. Give yourself permission to feel happy. Give yourself permission to have joy. And now, gently, gently, allow yourself to come back. Come back to your body. Come back to where you physically are. Give thanks to Dr. Pillai for whatever experience you just had with your goodie, and allow yourself to come back. And those of you that have been here before when we were on Zoom, you know that I do like the class to be a bit interactive. So if you would like to share a little bit about your experience with your goodie, you're welcome to do that. If you don't want to share all the details about your goodie, that's fine. Maybe you would just share how it made you feel to be with your goodie. So go ahead and allow yourself to type in the chat if you would like to share a little bit, and I'll try to read out any comments that I see about your experience with your goodie if you post them in the chat. So I'll give you a few moments to get back into your body and type. I see Sashi saying, "So beautiful. Let us enjoy life despite storms around." Satish is sharing, "Bathed in light." Oh, that's beautiful. Satish is saying, "Feeling blessed." Beautiful. So I'm happy that some of you are having had a good experience with your goodie. So again, this is a technique from the Tamil siddha tradition, and it's something that helps us to connect with the atomic power in our own mind. Lisa, I know Lisa is Ryan Evans in the label. She says for tonight for her goodie, she was at a book signing with her books. She happens to be an author. And there were many children were there, and they enjoyed them very much. This is Lisa Baglia. Wonderful, Lisa. I'm glad you migrated over to Pillai Center Practice YouTube with us. And I'm very happy that you had such a happy goodie tonight. Thank you for sharing that. Sita Ram is sharing, "It was a really exciting experience." Oh, I'm very happy to hear that as well, that you were able to have that happy emotion with that goodie. Lovely. Very happy to hear that. Wonderful. So I'll go ahead now and we'll go over the directions for the second technique of atomic dreaming. As I mentioned at the beginning, the second technique is more spiritual. And this one will do a little bit differently. I'm going to share, now I see a few more people sharing about their goodies. So let me share some of that before we move on. I see Shiva Krishna sharing, for tonight for his goodie, he was looking for a long-term contract or full-time job at a 125K to 150K range salary, and a good car and a good loving wife and a happily married life along with a house. So that was his goodie for tonight. Lovely, Shiva. Thank you for sharing that. Kalyani is sharing, tonight for her goodie, she was at a resort. She was with loving people around her. She could hear children laughing. She could smell fresh air. She could hear the sea waves. And she was having a lot of fresh food and juice. Wonderful. I'm happy that some of you have really good details for your goodie. Wonderful. Van is saying today for her goodie, she was again on a Santa Claus visit where her grandchildren were younger. The Santa and his helpers were so well dressed, and the children were singing. They got cookies and presents, and they were so happy. So that was a very sweet one. So everybody's goodies, as you can tell, are very different. And in the Zoom class, my experience was everyone was very accepting and supportive towards everyone who shared about their goodie, that we were all happy for them with whatever their goodies were. So I hope that can carry over now that we're on YouTube, that we feel happy for everyone for their various goodies. Sam is saying for his goodie tonight, he connected with a desire for a financial target that he's working on, and he could feel the joy and visceral sensations of having this unfold. He says, thank you. Well, thank you to everyone who shared either how your goodie made you feel or sharing some of the details of your goodie. Thank you for that. It helps me to have the class be a bit interactive, to get the feedback from some of you. So whether you shared or not, thank you so much for being here. Being in a group helps all of us to go deeper with the techniques. Now I'm going to go over and move to the second technique of atomic dreaming, which, as I mentioned again, it's more spiritual. For this one, we'll do it a little bit differently than we did the first one. With this one, I will again go over the directions from Dr. Pillai. The directions are very short. I'll talk about it very briefly, and then we're going to do it together in silence for 5 minutes. And I will let you know when the 5 minutes of silence is starting, and I will gently bring you out of it when the 5 minutes is over. The reason that we're doing it in silence is because this one is more spiritual, and I don't want to be constraining you in any way with my words. And because I know that Dr. Pillai is empowering these techniques for each of you, I can trust that you're going to have a good experience in the silence, that he'll be helping you to go deep with the experience. So this is now the words from Dr. Pillai about the second technique of atomic dreaming. These are his words. He says, if you want it to be more powerful, then you have to go imagine that you are in heaven with Lord Shiva, or Vishnu, or Maruga, or Ganesha, or Jesus, or the Buddha. Keep on thinking it over and over and over and over again. Then you can imagine that you have your mind is your subtle body. And this subtle body is thinking these thoughts which are real to the subtle body. I know a particular case where that exercise yielded results within a few days. Since this is a very powerful technique, you should not do it more than 5 minutes. God bless. So those are the words to us from Dr. Pillai about the second technique of atomic dreaming. Each of you may have your own way of picturing going to heaven. For me, it's real fast. It's kind of like warp speed in Star Trek, but each of you may have your own way. You're not limited to visiting the archetypes that Dr. Pillai mentioned. If you want to picture going to heaven and visiting with someone else, maybe Lakshmi or Mother Mary or Kuan Yin from the Chinese Taoist tradition, you're welcome to do that. And if you're a more secular person, perhaps you would just picture going to perhaps a higher dimension and maybe visiting with someone that you consider to have more intelligence, maybe Einstein or Tesla. However you wish to do this is totally fine. So right now, we're going to go ahead and do this second technique together in silence for 5 minutes, starting now. gently, gently start to come back to earth, come back to your body. Give thanks to Dr. Pillai for whatever experience you had. Give thanks to any beings that you interacted with, and allow yourself to come back. Come back to your body. Allow yourself to reintegrate gently, gently. And again, those of you that would like to share a bit about your experience, you're welcome to do that in the chat. If you don't want to share all the details, you could maybe just share how it made you feel to use the second technique. Allow yourself to come back. I know sometimes it can take a few moments to be back in your body and to be able to type or to share. Allow yourself to come back. There is a power to a group silence. So even though we're not in the same physical room, we are sharing across time and space through the YouTube. And of course, Dr. Pillai's energy is not limited to where he is physically. It reaches out to all of you as you're doing the technique. So I'm checking the chat to see if anyone is typing. I do see Soon had shared something about the first technique. I'll read that right now. With the first technique, she said tonight her goodie was to be in a long-term project called Shrimberzi Community, where they were interacting or interrelating with other beings and traveling to different galaxies. Oh, that sounds very sweet. That sounds very fun. So again, I see Sam. I now see people starting to share in the chat. Sam says tonight for the second technique, he visited with Swarna Bhairava and Babaji tonight, and they gave him some great financial advice on prioritizing his resources. It was practical, wise, and compassionate advice. He says, thank you. Oh, thank you for sharing that, Sam. I'm happy for you. Lisa is sharing in the chat, saying tonight she was high above the earth, enjoying chanting Shrimberzi with the angels. Thank you, Dr. Pillai, and all here. This is lovely. Thank you, Lisa, for sharing. Wahid is saying hi. Hello, Wahid. Thank you for joining us tonight. I appreciate that. I appreciate all of you for being here, whether you're sharing in the chat or not. Your presence on the call adds energy into the group experience, and I very much appreciate that. Sita Ram is sharing in the chat, saying tonight, beloved Guru Babaji met Sita Ram and asked Sita Ram to chant Shiva Meva Bhuti all the time. Thank you, Babaji. Wonderful. Some of you may want to write down some of your experiences, perhaps in a journal, keeping, a journal of positive experiences, and later you can go back and read it again and experience that energy again when you reread what you wrote. Beautiful, beautiful. So thank you for sharing, those of you who have shared. If anyone else wants to type in the chat, they're welcome to do that. Satish is saying, felt one with God and light, just a oneness. Wonderful. Kalyani is saying, Swamini, I am here, and the next moment I am with Kalabhairava. I am down on my knees asking for blessings. I am asking for forgiveness because I have been wasting time, and Kalabhairava just blessed me. Oh, Kalyani, thank you for sharing that, and I'm grateful you had such a powerful experience. Beautiful. Satish is saying, me, God, one. Yes, Dr. Pillai teaches you are God. Every one of us is God. And he is wanting us to begin to step into our higher self and to begin to connect with our own divinity. So, yes, that's a beautiful experience if you felt a oneness with the light, oneness with the divine. Wonderful. Thank you for sharing, all of you who have shared. You have permission, of course, to be using these techniques on your own during the week. You also have permission to share these techniques with others if you have occasion to do so, provided you do it freely. These techniques have been given freely to you, so in return, you would freely pass them on. You wouldn't be charging money for teaching these techniques to someone. So Dr. Pillai encourages people to use the techniques, and my experience over the last couple years when we were on Zoom, people who were working with these techniques on a daily basis were beginning to have some amazing results. One lady experienced winning the lottery several times in amounts where, she had to go down to the lottery office to sign papers. One person was able to publish several books over the last couple years. Another person was experiencing jumps in their career. Other people were experiencing, taking trips and other things that they had pictured in their atomic dreaming. So again, these are techniques that are helping each of us to connect more consciously with our own atomic power. Each of us has a great atomic energy in our own mind, and these techniques begin to help us to connect with them more consciously. So thank you for being here. I will be doing this class on a weekly basis on Tuesdays at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time. I think they're going to put all of them into a playlist on the channel. So if you go to the playlist section of Pillai Center Practice Channel, you should find each one for the next Tuesday, because it'll be obviously a different link for each day. So thank you all for being here. I'm so happy to be sharing these techniques with you. I'm happy that we did have a larger audience tonight than we did have on Zoom. So I think that migrating over to the YouTube channel is going to help more people become connected with these techniques and use them in a positive way. So love to all of you. Thank you again for being here. I will allow you to close out for a little bit, say good night to each other if you want, and we'll go ahead. I see Kalyani saying thank you everyone for sharing. Lisa saying beautiful sharing, sending love to everyone. Beautiful. Namaste. The light in me honors the light in all of you. May light encompass all.